Hello, Red is live. I'm kind of sad because I wasn't able to start my new job today. I was going to, but my background check is still going through. There's not, but there's. I'm old, so there's speeding tickets. There's parking tickets. There's stuff like that. So, and interestingly, they told me at the DMV that it says you didn't show them your registration. I was like, huh? I was like, what? From a speeding ticket in 2015. Well, I was in a rental car. It was when Ian and I went out from Georgia, and he was at the University of Georgia, and we went out for Thanksgiving, and we went up to my dad's for Thanksgiving, um, and with my stepmother and my brother Christopher, and my dad had Thanksgiving chicken with them. She didn't have a turkey because she didn't know I was coming. She always never knows I'm coming, even when I tell her. She didn't know I was coming. So we can't do a turkey. That takes a month, or I don't know what she said. So something silly. She's silly. But anyways, that was 2015. And then I took Ian to LAX. He had to go back for school starting at University of Georgia. And I rented a convertible Mustang and going up the 5 to my aunt's in San Jose. And I was passing somebody and I got a ticket. But I'm like, this is a rental car. I don't have the registration. I don't know. But anyways, that was interesting that they pulled that up, and they found um, my parking ticket from the Switchfoot getaway, and that I've tried to pay. I even tried to pay it that day because I'm like, they're gonna find this on my record, and I didn't pay it, and I want to be a good citizen of California. So that day I went, and it's like so funny and ironic that I didn't notice that, I was going to have to take a test because I'm standing in line for 3 hours, and I could have studied for the test and passed it and not have to go on to have the humiliation of failing and having to go back and retake it. One watching, thank you for being here. Chat with me in the chat if you like, or not, or don't. That's fine. I got this shirt from Pascal. It's for suicide awareness, and Pascal is a channel in St. Louis. He does stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know. He does a lot of um, what's it called when you talk about current. He talked a lot about those uh, kids that were murdered in Idaho. The Idaho, was it four? The Idaho four. I think it was four, or was it five of them? It was four of them. Anyways, it was a good channel, and I got this shirt from them. I'll drop the link for it. Interestingly, I found it after I left St. Louis, and I'm like, oh, he's in St. Louis. I haven't been over there in a while. Wait, let me. But anyways, he did this shirt, and some of it went towards suicide awareness. I don't know how much really, but it's probably better to donate directly to them. But I'm not subscribed to him anymore. Should I resubscribe? I don't know. He has 159,000 subscribers. He doesn't need me. I don't really. But I used to. I just wanted to tell you where I got the shirt. It's called The Pascal Show. He kept my head in the sand, really. He doesn't talk politics or anything. He honestly did keep my head in the sand. Other things, but I really didn't like to dwell so much on that stuff either. I don't like to dwell on that stuff, the news, and that situation was just so sad. I have my tea, this Good Earth tea. I think Ian got it at Costco before he came down here. It's really good, and it says, "You are my sweet tea," and that's so funny because I lived 32 years in Georgia, and sweet tea was the thing. But I stopped drinking it because my blood sugar was high. And yeah, I have a salad here, but I'm going to light my candle, and I'm going to play my flute. And yeah, so yeah, and yeah, so I was kind of sad because I thought I was going to be able to start my job, but we're waiting for the background check to go through with nothing on it. And I think it might be taking long because when I joined CARE, I didn't have my California license, so I scanned in my Colorado license. So I don't know. And I tried to contact CARE, and I haven't been able to talk to a person, only a bot. And so that's been kind of frustrating. But it is what it is, and it's fine, and everything's going to be okay. Hi, Betty. Hi. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah. And, I have this attitude now where I really do feel that this is going to be a good job for me, that this is going to work out. But I don't know. But I also have the attitude of, well, if this doesn't work out, that means there's something else better for me. So, but I really do think this job is going to work out. It seems, what the heck? Hey, Emma, hi. How are you? How are you? Thank you for being here. Good to see you. I'm going to light the candle. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I got my flute. It's very cold. It's not as cold out today though as it was Friday. Friday was so cold. I was freezing Friday, but I walked, so I think that warmed me up too. I walked for about 30 minutes, walked down the hill. Oh, I have a story to tell you guys. I have a story to tell you guys. We'll get to that. That is okay. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're okay. I'm sorry I've missed your last two live streams. I was tired and went to bed. You went to bed so early. Um, that's early, early, especially over there. Um, Amazon night, UK. But yeah, some people do go to bed that early. You must get up really early. um, so, or some people take a nap at this time, I guess. Well, it's like 8. What is it? 8 p.m. in UK. I guess some people do go to bed that, especially my dad would go to bed at like 9, 8:30, 9 o'clock. I told the story on here about the Thanksgiving. That was a Thanksgiving story when we got locked out of the house. Ian and I went to Walmart because when we went up to my dad's and my stepmom's for Thanksgiving to the Pismo Beach area from Los Angeles, he forgot his phone charger at my brother's at John and Joyce's, and so we went to Walmart and got another one. And my stepmother thought that 6 p.m. That's really early. 8:16. Yeah, it's 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours later there. And then you guys don't have daylight savings, so if it was winter, it would be spring, back, fall, forward. Is that what it is? It would be earlier. I don't know. I have my it's 12:18 in that specific time. I brought out this is my Little Mermaid. That's me. Soon I want to get probably this summer surfing lessons. And mermaids have more fun. I need to show you my garden. Let me show you how my garden's coming along. And we moved the cars. The cars were parked right there. And I said to Ian, I think I'd rather put the garden there and put the cars back over there because I don't even know how far we can go. I need to ask Patty. But this is my little succulent garden. Can you see that? That I got cuttings from this is my elephant. I got cuttings from Anne's garden. And and this is my tree, and there's the Ian put his rings there, so he kind of exercises in the tree. That's funny. So when Claire was little, about 4, we moved into our big house that my ex was building, and she had a stuffed animal teddy bear and a stuffed animal monkey, and her brothers were Teddy and Ian, and she said, I named my bear Teddy and I named my monkey Ian. So, and Ian's still swinging from the trees. And this is my garden over here, and these are my tomato plants, and I've got marshmallow sticks at the store to put in them, and that's my bougainvillea, which doesn't look so good. I hope it's okay. And my aloe vera that I I put in the ground. That came with a house also. It was in a pot, but it was root bound. So, and this is our artificial grass we got at Home Depot, which was kind of expensive, but it looks nice. And it looks pretty real. And I'm thinking of doing the garden here and just raking all the rocks over there to park over there. But I'm gonna have to talk to Patty about where my boundaries are, because I don't know exactly. So yeah, I have to do that. And last night I was going to grill steak, but then I kept thinking we keep on forgetting to cook these and eat these eggs, so I cooked eggs instead. And tonight I will do the steak probably. So if you go to bed at 6 p.m., what time do you get up? Because that's really super early. Because you do get up really early in the morning. I'm going to, here's my salad. And I got the broccoli sprouts on it. And I bought me a loquat. These are really good. So this is the tree we had when I was a kid in the valley. And they're really, really good. And I'm going to put my egg on my salad. So I'm going to peel that. Peel my egg. So yeah, I think it's like it. I like it better to be able to see from here out there and not have the cars right there. And I was like, from the patio over there, there's a patio that way. I'd like to look out on the yard instead of looking out at our cars. So when Ian went to DoorDash last night, I moved my car over there, and I thought, well, he can still park under the tree if he wants to. But when he came back, he parked over there. So that was good. I'm peeling my hard-boiled egg. So I made some scrambled eggs last night with mushroom and tomato and cheese. And I hard-boiled. I took half the eggs, made scrambled eggs. There were 10 eggs. So I took 10 and made scrambled eggs. Oh, you used to sleep during the day. These are little. I made more salad yesterday, but one of my salads from before was left. And this has avocado on it. These are little mozzarella cheeses from Costco. Oh, you cat. Put my cheese on there. Where is the show? Oh, I got more rocks. I was going to show you too, but let me do this first. I'm going to cut up my egg and put it on my salad. And I have Ken's ranch dressing. So I think my lives are not going to all be one thing or the other. They're just going to be a mixture. A mixture of me. We can talk about whatever comes up. Because it's like if something important comes up, on Thursday, I'm not going to not talk about it on Friday because Friday is supposed to be Fun Live. If something in politics comes up, but I'll try to be not too heavy all the time and, talk about mental health too and not talk about hope. Let's talk about hope. I'm going to pray because I'm going to eat my loquat first. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for these friends and followers. I pray that you bless them and be with them. Thank you for this food. Thank you for my tiny house, Lord. Thank you that my son is here. Thank you that I made it back to California after 46 years. Thank you for guiding me, Lord. I am just so grateful. Thank you that for this possibility of this job, Lord. I hope that it works out. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I don't know why you're... are you watching on YouTube? I don't know why your comments look different. I don't know if it's because they're coming from the UK or what, but yours has the little YouTube thing on them, and then, well, Betty's looks different to me, I guess, because she's a moderator. But wait, let me look at. I'm saying a lot. Okay. Yeah, because it looks different on. It looks different on YouTube also. Are you watching on YouTube? I think maybe because you're in the UK. That might be it. But yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I noticed it from the first. These are so good. I can't really describe either the flavor. They're kind of like a peach or a apricot kind of flavor, I guess. I saved all these seeds. And then there's two of the trees right over there. One is not making fruit though, although they seem to be the same size. They're right over there by the pool. So, but yeah, the mermaid thing. So they called me mermaid in 9th grade in high school at Boca Raton. And then it was after that that Disney gave the Little Mermaid red hair. So that was kind of funny. I'm going to open this. I'm going to have this dressing. I also bought myself cookies to the dessert. This tea is good. I brought the nuts. These are the nuts I found when I walked with Pam and Julian at the park. And yeah, that's kind of funny. And let me I want to talk about what happened on Friday, because it was Friday that it happened after I went live. Something happened Friday that I'm going to tell you about. When I walked and I was picking up trash. And that thing that came to mind again, that manifesting, because it's really interesting, because like I said about the loquats, I feel like I almost manifested the loquat tree. I manifested the tiny house. I've been talking about moving into, and even Ian, I manifested Ian being here. Because I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about how when I first went to I actually did. I bought him a ticket. I wanted him to go to California with me again because it was so fun when I went with him in 2015. I wanted him to go to I love dressing, you guys. I'm putting it on my salad. I even did. They gave me back part of it. I bought him a ticket to the Switchfoot Getaway, which is here in San Diego. Usually every year, but they didn't have it during the pandemic, of course, for a couple of years, I think. I don't know when they started having it again. This candle smells really, really strong. It's like Hawaiian flavor. I'll try these. Broccoli sprouts. I got just big globs of dressing. I need to mix it up some. But I never thought about it that way. You manifested the mermaid to have red hair. I think of it as the mermaid had red hair. You know? Duh. Because when this kid started calling me mermaid, and then all the kids followed suit, he just said, "You just look like a mermaid." But I also love the water. But it's funny, in the movie The Little Mermaid, she loves the land more and wants to leave the ocean. But I want to be back by the ocean. That's why I'm here. So many broccoli sprouts. They're good though. I always forget to put them on my salad. I was put on, you know, sometimes you like want to wind down. I put on Harry Potter, listening to the book on being read on YouTube last night before I went to bed. I didn't put it on for very long though. I like the Ken's dressing. I was very extremely strict, and at first I didn't want my kids to read them. I'm not, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I'm much more liberal is the word for it. Liberal now. There's not just one book. There's 7 books. And they're very good. I don't. Now everybody's like mad at her, and I don't particularly like her bad attitude about trans people, but they're still good books. And I read to my kids, especially my youngest two. I read to them the most because I used to read to them and they'd fall asleep. I used to read Claire to sleep every night when she was like 10, 11, 12, 13 even. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. But that doesn't discredit, you know, the quality of the books and stuff. Motorcycle. So my avocado got kind of brown because this salad, I made fresh salads, but this is from the salad I made last week. It's still good. And the books are way better than the movies, but the movies, I like the movies too. Ian doesn't like some of the movies because I remember one time we used to always watch them at Christmas. I remember one time we were going to watch The Order of the Phoenix. And The Order of the Phoenix, there's just so much in it. They couldn't put it all in there. So when they made the movie, they took Quidditch out of it totally. They took Quidditch out of it completely. And the part where Umbridge takes their brooms away. And I need to see how it compares. Yeah. One time we were going to watch The Order of the Phoenix, and we told Ian, and Ian's like, "That's the worst one." I think it might be because of that issue. It was just like, I don't think they even have any Quidditch in it at all. But I read them to my, and I remember when the seventh book came out, I was with my kids at the bookstore. Um, we were all wanting to read it, and I think we have 3 copies. I think my daughter bought her own copy, and then we passed them like throughout my kids, you know. And I think I read it to Claire, yeah. So I like dressing. We ran out of dressing. It only comes out in a quad, though. I just want a tiny bit. Oh, yeah, there. That's a quad. No, that was bad. I love dressing. It makes the salad. See the thing? I got clothes from my interview at Ross, and Ian found this for my garden, which the dirt over here is hard as a rock. So I think this little hoe thing, I have a hoe with the prongs, might work good in my garden. And these are the things I saw at Statter Brothers. Marshmallow sticks. And you saw over there, I used them for my tomato plants because I needed a stick like about that long. So I was like, let me get 2 of these because I used the other pack for my tomatoes and I have one left in it. And I got some marshmallows, but we haven't made a fire because I have a little fire. You can't see it. It's city. See my fire pit. It's been like since I got it, it's been really, really hot. But then it cooled off. It has not since I got it. When I got it, it was really, really hot. And I'm drinking also this kiwi strawberry in my Pretty Sure I'm a Mermaid. Pretty Sure I'm a Mermaid cup. So, yeah, I think the movies are pretty good, but I like the books. The books are always better. But yeah, I read to my youngest 2 the most. I used to read to all my kids, but I read to my youngest 2 as they got older, and we read. We started with the Chronicles of Narnia. And then went on to like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Aragon, Series of Unfortunate Events, His Dark Materials, which was like the Golden Compass and that, like that. And yeah, a lot of books we went through. I have a poem about that. I have a cookie. I love these cookies. These are white chocolate macadamia. Let me find the poem. It's called Leaving Neverland. Because I think I read them, the Peter Pan too. Yep. This poem is about when my daughter was my youngest daughter was pulling away from me. It was so heartbreaking. And it was hard because there were things going on with it. Another child, another of my children. And I moved out of the house. My daughter was 15. I just felt like I had no choice, though. And she didn't want to move in with me. Of course, she could have moved in with me. And I really wanted her to move in with me. But she didn't want to move in with me. And she was 15, and I was still teaching her to drive. And I took her to get her driver's license. When I went to see her in Texas in 2023, I let her drive my car. And I said to her, oh yeah, I taught you how to drive. She said, no, Dad taught me how to drive. And I was like, huh? And this is like, the crazy making, like when the things were going on with my other child in my house in Georgia that I moved out of. I moved out of our bigger house and into our smaller house, which I ended up getting in the divorce when we were finally divorced. He agreed to give me that house. And I was made to feel like the issues with my child were my fault, and they weren't, and I thought, okay, if I move out, and step back from this situation, maybe they'll see it's not my fault. But they'll still, now it's been like since 2016, like been 9 years now since I moved out of the house. And, and now I'm 2,000 miles away. Still, everything's my fault. And also, I didn't teach her how to drive. And it's like, Dad had a stick shift then? I'm like, what did he teach you? What did he teach you to drive in? I got a car and traded in our Toyota Sequoia, which was for taking trips in anyways with all of us. It would fit all 7 of us in it. And it was falling apart, and it got to where my door wouldn't close. And then Toyota said it would be $700 for the part, just so my door would close. And I'm like, I don't want this car. They wouldn't go anywhere with me. They had an unspoken rule that like, we don't do anything fun with mom anymore because we're mad at her and we're punishing her. So they wouldn't, this was especially my oldest, they wouldn't do anything fun with me. And it was just so excruciating. I was thinking about it yesterday because I was looking, I'm having to delete again because my phone, I have so many videos and pictures on my phone, on my computer, that I periodically am having to delete. And also I was trying to see if I had a picture of my daughter's dog, because I mentioned Jude in a video yesterday. I posted yesterday about the Perfect Storm poem, if you listen to that. And I wanted to see if I had a picture of him to put in the video, but I couldn't find one. But I found a lot of pictures of my dog. So 3 watching, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching the replay. You guys, I appreciate it. But anyways, let me say this poem because it's about, me reading to them and everything. And I guess I wrote this in 2017. This was right before I started. It was funny. I fixed the rooms in my house for my kids to visit me and stay overnight. And I fixed Lydia's room in case she wanted to move in with me. I just had it ready for her. And I bought a really soft and cozy blue comforter, and she had wanted her room in the big house painted blue, so I painted the room blue. And then I painted the other room red and got University of Georgia Bulldogs, where both of my sons went to school, and Ian graduated in 2018. So Georgia Bulldogs, and that ended up being my most popular Airbnb room. But I didn't fix the rooms to do Airbnb, and then I ended up, my room was purple, like my room here is purple. My room was purple, and I ended up Airbnb all of my rooms out, and then I moved into my den because I put an air mattress out there. So that's what happened. But this was before I started doing Airbnb, and I fixed the room for her. So I fixed the blue room for Lydia and the other Georgia Bulldog room for when Ian visited, and also my other son. And the purple room was mine. I never dreamed I'd start renting out on Airbnb, but I did that in November. Before that, probably in the summer, I'm most lonely in the summer. I dreamed that when I woke, my baby Lyd, she was 16 at the time, was asleep in the room I fixed for her brother, not the room I fixed for her, of course. And her car was in my driveway. It reminded me of one of the stories we all loved to read. And then I have a quote from Peter Pan. The children waited for her cry of joy, but it did not come. She saw them, but then she saw them in their beds so often in her dreams that she thought this was just a dream still. This is at the end of Peter Pan when they come back. She sat down in a chair by the fire where in the old days she had nursed them. J.M. Barrie, Peter Pan. And that dream gave me hope that she will come home from Neverland. Leaving Neverland. Wait. I need to do the double video. Let me do the double video. Let me do the double video. I'm going to. Yeah, all my rooms were cool for Airbnb. It ended up being, and I think that the Georgia Bulldog was the favorite room of most people too. And then incidentally, so Mohammed, my green card guy, was in the Georgia Bulldog room also. But he moved for me because Ian was going to come home from college and stay with me. And but he didn't end up coming. But Mohammed changed rooms for me, which was really nice of him. He was just like, why is this guy being so nice? Because he didn't need to be, because he didn't hardly know me, but he was being so nice because I believe he was trying to get me to marry him for a green card. Anyways, I'm going to do the double video and read this poem for Hi, I'm doing the double video again. I'm live and I'm saying a poem from my new book of poetry, which is not out yet, called Red Poems. And this poem is about parental alienation, and it's called Leaving Neverland. And it's about when I fixed the room in our smaller house for my youngest, my teenager. And she came to spend the night with me one time. So after I had this dream, and then it did happen. So, and there's a quote from, I'm going to say the quote again, from Peter Pan. The children waited for her cry of joy, but it never came. She saw them, but then she saw them in their bed so often in her dreams that she thought this was just the dream still. She sat down in the chair by the fire where in the old days she had nursed them. J.M. Barrie, Peter Pan. And that dream gave me hope that she will come home from Neverland. I awoke to see her in her bed like so often in my dreams. We read in bed not so long ago about the land of Narnia and the boy who lived. Those demigods and unfortunate kids. The parents who died in a fire. Will my kids always see me as the loser mom who lived? Can't even find a job. You're nothing without Bob. What did I work all those years for? Why did he always want more? Why did I let them control and disrespect me? When will they ever come back from the land of the enemy? See who truly is the bad guy here. The mom who read and sang to us, Jesus loves you. You are my sunshine. Let me be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck. Lead me anywhere. I used to read that, sing that to my son, Teddy. And they did. They all did. I did what I thought they wanted. He always said, before you have a job. So I cooked and cleaned. I went to games. I took the lead. I'm taking a break now from serving you. It's my turn. For so long, I tried to do just what they wanted me to. Time to grow up. People pleasing can't be done, and they're never satisfied like Mick. I can't get no satisfaction. But God's yoke is easy and his burden is light. His path is right, shining ever brighter into the perfect day. He won't take my sunshine away like you did. There, I did the double video. Yeah. Yeah, they were all cool rooms. I put all angels in the purple room too when I started burning that one out. it was like my angel room. An angel collection that I sold all together when I sold all my stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, I was just thinking about like that whole journey in 2020 from leaving Georgia. I was on a journey to come here. I wanted to come to California. And I did temporarily for a little bit when I was by my brother. But then, when my sister-in-law passed away, I didn't really have the support here that I wanted. And that's why I decided to go to Denver by my son Ian. So yeah, that's what happened. So I went to Denver in 2022, and now I left Denver and came here in 2025. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So for a recap, my husband and I separated back in 2014, and we lived in the house together for 2 years. It wasn't as hard as people might think, because I was pretty much, not trying to change him anymore, not doing the codependent dance, as they call it. So lived with him in the house for 2 years. In 2016 is when I moved out into the smaller house that I talked about, and that I started doing Airbnb in 2017 to 2019. So 2018 is when we were finally divorced. It was right after I had the green card guy guest. Ironically, I was not yet divorced when he stayed at my Airbnb, but I was almost. And I had the divorce mediation that August, like the 3rd. Like, he came to my Airbnb on August the 3rd. Was the divorce mediation, and then I wasn't divorced really till after he left, and he said he went back to Saudi Arabia, but he lied. He did not go back to Saudi Arabia. He was somewhere. He was somewhere in the U.S. because he was under Trump's Muslim travel ban, Mohammed, because he was Muslim. He was from Syria. He lived in Saudi Arabia, though, because of the war. They left Syria because of the war, and he lived in Saudi Arabia. But it's very hard to become a citizen of Saudi Arabia. I learned so much from him. Like, I didn't even realize Muslims didn't eat pork, and I kept offering him pork. It's like insane that he was so nice to me afterwards. When I think about it, I was just like, and I kept thinking, I didn't want to think there was something up, but I kept thinking there's something up with this guy. There's something up with this guy, because he's like too nice. Why is he being so nice? Why is he acting like my best friend when I just freaking met this guy? Why is he being so nice? Why is he so handsome? No, I didn't ask that. But it was just insane. And so that story is going to be in my Red Poems and in my book. I'm going to write a memoir book, which I really haven't even started. It's like in my head, it's like in my head. I'm going to start a memoir book that may or may not come out the same time as the Red Poems. I'm not sure. Because Red Poems can be done. It's just like I need to edit it. I feel like it's not done, though, because I just feel like there's more poems. Like, I started writing a poem about me being a mermaid, and I need to finish that one. So But yeah, the other book, my memoir thing, is going to be called Welcome to Reds, I think. And the sequel, I used to say, the sequel to Red's Airbnb will be Red's RV. And then Red's Teeny House. I don't know. But yeah, so 2018, I was finally divorced. 2019, I stopped doing Airbnb. I started downsizing. 2020, I sold my house in Georgia in the middle of a pandemic. When the pandemic hit, almost I started spiraling down, like the anxiety spiral, the depression spiral. I started, they always have to be doing something over there by the pool. They've been working since I moved in here. They're working over there. And especially when I go live is when they use the loud power tools. But anyways, so I thought, what am I going to do if this doesn't work? Because the pandemic hit in 2020. Y'all know what happened in 2020. But I still was able to sell my house. And, I continued downsizing and selling all the stuff in my house. I had so much stuff, you guys. I had like nearly 2,000 books. I counted them. I had 1,600. I got rid of some a little bit. I probably had about 2,000 in the big house. Oh, well, now the only neighbor I really met is Amber. And yeah, she knows. So, but I just moved here, so I don't know a lot of my neighbors yet. Oh, but I wanted to tell you what happened Friday. Oh my goodness, you guys. It was insane. I was picking up garbage along my street. You go down the hill and then you go to the main street, but there's garbage and I find interesting stuff. Like there's a foosball table on the side of the road that somebody dumped. I'm like, that is the oddest thing I've ever seen dumped somewhere. A foosball table, an old foosball table. And just 2 days ago, I found a hole punch in a bush. Is that not the oddest thing to find? A hole punch? Yeah, I didn't punches holes. Very well. A hole punch. Just punched a hole. So yeah, a hole punch. So anyways, I have these gloves. They're actually food preparation gloves, but I have these rubber. They're not the heavy. I might get that kind, the heavy surgical gloves, but they're like food prep gloves that I put on, and I took a bag. And after going live on Friday, it was about 3:30. It was around 3:30 that time. And I go walking down the road and I picking up garbage. I got a full bag of garbage. I get down to the bottom of the hill and I noticed a car stopped like right in front of me. And I was like, that's odd. And I go into this ditch where there was a lot of garbage, a lot of garbage. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to go in this ditch and pick up all this garbage. So I go in the ditch and I'm picking up garbage, and I realize why the car stopped. It's because the school bus is stopping, and it's it's a good hike up the hill, and so they're probably picking up somebody at the bus stop, right? So I'm in the ditch and I'm picking up garbage and I'm being very careful because there's rattlesnakes around here. And I'm just like, I'm going to, I went into bushes sometimes after garbage, and I don't know if I'll do that anymore. And I want to get one of those things that, the grabber, like, and it's on the pole. Yeah, I used to pick up the rat traps with that thing. Oh my goodness. When I had rats in my house in Georgia. So anyways, so I'm in the ditch, it's like way away from really it's like down the hill. It's not a whole mile. I think it's like a half a mile down there. But anyways, so I'm picking up garbage and these teenagers get off the bus, right? And so one of them says to me, you're not supposed to be down there. And I just said, I'm picking up garbage. And he said, that's private property. And, and I'm just like, I'm just picking up garbage. I didn't see there's signs on the other side of the street that say there's a fence. There's like barbed wire and says, no trespassing. Really, really friendly, beautiful yard. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It looks very not friendly, not a pretty yard, and all of that. But post, no trespassing all along on the other side of the road. But I didn't go over a fence or around a fence or see any sign or anything. And usually a drainage ditch is owned by the county, not owned by people. But anyways, it was a drainage ditch. And I was picking up garbage. And so this kid, I thought he was just being a snarky teenager. I had no idea. He didn't say that's my property or blah, blah, blah. And he just said, I'd rather you get out of there. I'd like you to get out of there. And so I'm thinking he's being snarky. I'm being snarky back. I said, make me. And I just was like finishing, intended to finish picking up the garbage. And I got out of the ditch and started walking up the hill. Well, he went and got his mom, and he was right in the house, like right across. So as I started walking back, this lady starts yelling at me from up in her yard with her son standing behind her, and I guess brothers or whatever, and starts cussing and saying, that's private property and blah blah blah, and you weren't supposed to be there. Why did you say this to my son? And blah blah. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I said I was picking up garbage. And she keeps going back and forth, and I start to get snarky. I can't help it. It's just a gift. So I said I was just picking up trash. I didn't think anybody would be upset at that, and I didn't know there's no signs. There's signs posted all along. She said something about a fence, I think, but there's no fence on that side. I wouldn't have gone around a fence or over a fence because there was garbage on the other side of a fence further up the road. And I'm like, well, I can't pick up that garbage, because it was on the other side of the fence. And I was mostly picking up. It was stuff that was along the road is mostly what I was picking up. But in this instance, I went down into the ditch, and where there was a lot of garbage, cups and potato chip bags and bottles and all this garbage. So, yeah, so we're getting into this back and forth, and she's up on the hill with her sons. And you said something to my son, I was like, I was just, being sarcastic. I don't know exactly what I said about that. I just said, I didn't think anybody would be upset at me picking up garbage. It's my yard. I'll take care of the garbage. And it's like, yeah, why don't you? That would be nice. But anyways, I didn't say that. So I said, do you want me to put it back? And guess what she said? She said yes. And I made a little video, but I decided not to post it. I made a little video as I was coming back up the hill, not while she was talking to me, of course not. But anyways, I decided to de-escalate the situation, and I was, it was being snarky. I was getting angry. I was getting agitated, and I had a good mind to take. It was a full bag of garbage. It wasn't all garbage I got from there. I was like, I wanted to go dump it in that ditch. I wanted to go dump all the garbage I had picked up in that ditch, especially when she said she wanted me to put it back. But she was just being ridiculous. So I finally said, like, what can I do to de-escalate? And then, like, there were bushes, and she's up there and I'm down on the road still, and I was trying to get where I could be closer to her, but I'm like, I'm not going to go onto her property again. But I went, like, so I couldn't see her, and then she was still talking, and then I went back to where I was because I couldn't see her. And then I said, because I'm like, let me de-escalate this. I'm like, I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. That won't happen again. I did not know. I was only picking up garbage. And, like I said, I had a full bag of garbage from all the way down the street to there. And I said, I'm going to throw this away, because I was just being sarcastic when I said, you want me to put it back. And I didn't think she was serious either about the word that came to mind was trailer trash. This person lived in a house, though. Trailer trash is a state of mind, though. And I also kind of probably made a judgment as according to their attitude that they're probably, but I don't know. But they sound really like the mindset, and that the kid had the mindset is that my parents don't like people on their property, even if they're picking up trash. When the correct response would have been, and also if he had said something like, that's my parents' property and they really don't want you on there. That's nice, very nice of you to pick up garbage, but they don't want you, and that is private property. You might not be aware of it. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything nice. He didn't say it was his property. He just was telling me to get off of there. And, and I thought he was just being snarky. So I was snarky back. And so it was just ridiculous. But I feel like I successfully de-escalated the situation, took my garbage back up the hill and threw it away. And now I don't. I told Ian about it. And he kind of laughed. He's like, he went and got his mommy, huh? And I was like, yeah, he did. And I said, I said, I wanted to say, my son is bigger than your son. But I'm like, I'm de-escalating the situation. And I'm just like, I don't want no trouble. And I said to Ian, now, I don't walk all the way down the hill anymore. Because their house is right at the bottom of the hill. But anyways, people, and I'm just like, that's very much the mindset. Like, I don't know, and I could be wrong. But it is a country. Like, that was her, like, reasoning too. This is a country. You can't just go, out here in the country. You can't just go and, I own all the way to, she said, I own all the way to the whatever, all the way down the road, and I'm like, oh, no wonder you're cranky. California property taxes. Poor baby. You own all this land and all you're using it for is to let people dump their garbage on? Poor you. That is sad. That is really sad. She doesn't even have, like, a garden. She doesn't have that many trees on her property. And I'm like, you own a ditch. You seem to be very proud that you own this ditch that people dump their garbage in. Go you, lady. Go you. And God forbid if a nice, good Samaritan pick up garbage in your ditch. I mean, it was totally insane. But I've been thinking about it like since, and then I made the video because it's so tempting. I'm like, oh, this is the kind of video. Oh my goodness. Oh, Carol would love this video. My friend at Glorious Life on which drama sells, people. Drama sells. But you know what? You know what I wanted to tell you guys is that my views are up. I'm like, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do the drama and the I don't know, stuff to get views. I don't have to do that, you know. I can get views with good content, but I feel like some other channels are always going for like the stuff like that, you know, oh, grab your get your camera out and film this, you know, because that's what Pam and I were talking about when we were in Julian, because something had happened when we were at a YouTube meetup, and yeah, and that whole thing with the YouTubers bullying me got my views up, and for them talking about me on their channels, and it's just like, I don't want to get views because someone's talking bad about me. And but lately my views are up, so I'm excited, and I'm like, I don't have to do that. And it was tempting to post that video, and but I decided not to, and I didn't. I'm telling you about it, but I didn't post that video. So yeah, and my views, let me tell you, I have 2,114 valid public watch hours, and I need to get to 3,000 to just get members and not even get ads. I have to get to 4,000 watch hours within a year's time, which I've been close to before. But my analytics, you guys, look at this, are 16.1 thousand in the last 28 days, which it's not the same as watch time. I don't know why, but anyways, and it's 7.8 thousand more than usual. And that's what my watch time got up to. I was barely to 500 subscribers. So, because before the rule was you had to have 1,000 subscribers and you had to have 4,000 watch hours, until they changed it to 300. 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscribers. So I've been past that. Now that they changed it, I was at that before. So I got the bully monetized because I got him watch time on the video bashing me. I got him monetized. He had a bunch of views because of his dogs, but he had a bunch of subscribers, I'm sorry, because of his dogs. And but he didn't have the watch time, and he got the watch time because of the video he did bashing me. It was insane, and I was so mad. And he kept that video up too for like two years, I think. He finally took it down, and I was like so relieved. Yeah. But before, when I didn't even have 500 subscribers. I didn't even have 500 subscribers. And I got 17,000 views on my channel in a month because of the bullies talking about me. And then they got mad because of that. And I was like stopping doing YouTube because I was so upset. It made me so anxious. And since then, I've learned more about anxiety and stuff. And the reason bullying costs causes so much. This is relevant to you, Emma. The reason the bullying causes you so much anxiety is because we're hardwired in that for the connection. And it used to be dependent on our survival to be accepted and included in the community and in the tribe, because you would die if you were out there on your own, and that's what I realized. That's why I would have so much anxiety. And then, like, I'm rejected by my kids and I leave Georgia. And then things did happen with Gladys, because I had that roommate from hell that she wanted to keep because of her anxiety and codependency, and just this continual being rejected by the group. It causes anxiety in you, because we're not made for that. We're made for connection. And before, our survival depended upon being accepted by the tribe. And if you were rejected, then you would die, And so that's why that's kind of hardwired into that. And that's why it's so stressful. And kids, and it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue for the kid being bullied. And really, the bullies really need help, because they're messed up in the head, that they think that that's okay and right to do that. It makes them feel big and important, and they're very insecure, and that's why they do it. And so it's just it's a serious, like, mental health issue. And kids have taken their own life. And Life with Lee, I started doing videos on this because of Life with Lee, and that's really what happened to her, because she was being harassed by this other YouTuber. And it was funny that I called that out, and then that happened to me, which it really was the same thing, only on a smaller scale, because I was a little itty bitty YouTube channel. They were bigger channels than me, and they were attacking me. It was so messed up. And then what was really even more, to add insult to injury, some of my friends sided with them, or were like, "Hey, we're neutral, and we're going to his monetization party, and we're still friends with him." And it's like what he was doing was okay. And I was just like, how can you be okay with, like, you're not my friend. How can you be okay with this? Like, no, you're not my friend. They were cowards, is what they were. And they were, excuse the language, ass kissers. That's what I call them, ass kissers. Let me show you that video, like the video I did with Box Van D, which unfortunately she ended up being a kisser, but that was kind of ironic too. But I did the video because of Life with Lee. And how I finally got the bullies to take their videos down about me was threatening to sue them. I had to threaten to sue them to get them to take the videos down. So I was so mad. It got up to like 6,000. It was his most viewed live stream. It got him monetized, and it was his most viewed live stream. I think that even his monetization party is still, and all of these people that I used to hang out with on YouTube, their channels are all just pretty much diminishing now. They never got very big. They're just like a couple thousand, maybe. I think his is 5,000 now, but they're not going live. They're not doing videos. They're just, their channels are pretty much dying. So yeah, what goes around comes around. Karma's a bitch. And then I moved on to people, I got pulled from moderating for these channels too, the ones that were the A kissers, I call them. that they didn't participate in the bullying, but they condoned it, and they were like okay with it, and still like we're still friends with him, and like what he's doing is okay and fine with us. It's okay if you bully Red. We don't care. And oh, you shouldn't say anything, Red. So we're gonna un. I was a moderator on their channels, and so they unmoderated me. Um, so yeah, and then so there's the video with Boxfan D, and I did that because of the Life with Lee story. So, and if you want to look up Life with Lee, I'll put the link to that. And I knew her through. I wasn't really that into her channel, but I was into Eamon and Beck, and so that's how I heard about it. I knew about her through Eamon and Beck's channel, and that happened in 2021. And she was with Lee and Max, this guy in Australia, van lifer. So, yeah. Oh, I think he claims to be a Christian, but that doesn't mean anything. I think he does. But that wasn't the point of anything. Really. Yeah, I'm just about finished. Yeah, you don't have to, but anyways, that was just kind of the coincidence. And although I don't believe in coincidences, really, I don't think you believe in coincidences either, do you, Emma? Everything happens for a reason. And it was just kind of, I felt like when that thing happened with Lee and then she took her own life, I felt like I was meant to talk about that. And then just even more so when the similar thing happened to me. It's like I wasn't even a big channel, but it was this other YouTuber decided he didn't like me, and I, did this or that to him. I didn't do anything to him, actually. I did nothing to him. And he was offended because I said, I met him at a meetup, and I thought he thought I was going to fawn all over him like I did this other YouTuber. And then I had a falling out with that YouTuber, and he really started it. He started his friends. He started in calling me a bully, and it was just like it wasn't a bullying situation. I was in limerence with this other YouTuber, and I was helping him on his channel. I'm still all over his channel. His channel's dead too. Been dying, dead as a doornail. He doesn't even do videos. He doesn't live stream anymore. Just dead. I got into this group that I think they really got going because of the pandemic. And it's funny. And it was when I was out in California and at my brother's, helping my brother with my sister-in-law who was ill in the end stages of breast cancer. So that was when I was in California before, when I just started out in my RV. And I wanted to stay here. I wanted to move to San Diego. Even my brother and I came down to San Diego, but he was just really annoying and not supportive of anything I did. He wasn't supportive of, he didn't think it was a good idea for me to live in my RV. Like, where the heck you want me to live, dude? So you say my RV's broken when it kept tripping, the electricity kept tripping, his house, and then the electricity would go out in my RV. The electricity would go out in his house too. This was his smaller house. He had a bigger house and a smaller house too. The interesting thing about me and my brother is we both ended up being conservative at first. I was until 2016. We both ended up being conservative because our parents moved us across the country to Boca Raton, Florida, where we were both teenagers, and we went to Boca Raton High School. And that's really, I feel like, why my brother and I became conservative. And we were both married 30 years. We still like have a lot in common with him. He's my brother. He had red hair, same color hair as me, but he was balding. He became LAPD. He came back to California as soon as he finished college and married, my sister-in-law. She's Jewish, but she became a Christian, I think really because of him too. But I witnessed to her too all the time. I was very evangelical. I was very brainwashed. I just felt like we were different, my brother and I, than my other siblings, 5 siblings. There were 7 of us. Were liberal, into the 60s and grew up in the 60s, the 70s. They were born in the 50s too. My other 5 siblings. They didn't really embrace the Christianity. I felt like my parents found a good, really pretty conservative church in Boca Raton, and that's where I got married too, in the Presbyterian church that was conservative in Boca Raton. And so that's why I feel like we ended up conservative. And the interesting thing about my brother and I is he was married 30 years also, and but his wife passed away. And I was married 30 years and got divorced. And he had a bigger house and a smaller house. And I got the smaller house in my divorce. And my ex has the big house in Georgia. And he sold his bigger house, almost $1 million, after my sister-in-law passed, because it was too expensive for him. He's all about getting the money out of that house. And so he stayed in the little house where I was parked in my RV. But anyways, yeah. And then it ended up he was seeing this woman who was supposedly his tenant. And I didn't realize that. And she didn't like me. And I don't think he wanted me to find that out, that he was turned around dating just like that after his wife dies. Kind of like my dad. And so, yeah. No. Yeah, it sounds like it's the same. The conservatives are the Trumpers. So they're not good. I used to think they were good, and they were on the right. They were right. And I used to be happy that, and I used to be like, Teddy Roosevelt was a Republican. And I believe that Lincoln was also. But, my book, What Elephant? The elephant is the mascot of the Republican Party. And I used to like that, but I'm not a Republican anymore. I'm a liberal now, and Trumpism is MAGA is a cult. Not everybody, I guess, that voted for him is in the cult, but yeah, it's very cultish and cult-like. It's culty, and so no, I'm not conservative anymore. And I also, for 2 years, I was saying I was agnostic. I was away from God, and I was angry about so many things, about my daughters not talking to me. I was angry at God about my daughters not talking to me, about my book being stolen from me, about being date raped, about being fooled, I was kind of mad, but not, I was mad that I didn't get played. I didn't fall for it, but I was kind of mad about Muhammad and falling for all of that. But as you say, Emma, everything happens for a reason. I became kind of grateful about the thing with Muhammad happening because it was very difficult to, after 5 kids, it was 32 years when I was finally divorced that I was married. 32 years. So, like I said, my brother, the same thing. He had the bigger house and they had the smaller house, and he was married 30 years, and I was married 30 years, and I got divorced, and he became a widower, and so he's still conservative and I'm not, and so that was another thing we were not jiving on, and he wanted Trump to win in 2020 and he did not win. And then January 6th happened when I was in his house, when we thought the electricity was tripping my RV, when it didn't. My RV wasn't broken. It was just his house couldn't handle the RV being plugged into it. It was a little house. It's a little house. But I needed to be in the house then anyways, because Joyce came home on hospice care. And so, but I was away from God then, and I was saying I was like agnostic, but I came back to God in 2021, but I'm not like the same, I'm not as dogmatic. I'm not, I was just very, very strict. I had started drinking again because I didn't drink at all when I was in the Christian church and when I was bringing up my kids. I started drinking a little bit, but then I did stop again. So, but all those YouTubers would get drunk on YouTube. It was insane. It was insane. No, I'm not conservative anymore. No, because Donald Trump is a felon, rapist. He's not an intelligent man. All those things is like horrible, and he's totally changed the Republican Party too. It's not right. It's not. I was a lot of the reason I was conservative too was because of the abortion issue, and I believed it was murder, and I didn't really know that the things that are happening now are so sad because women that wanted to carry their baby to term and then they miscarry, they can't even get a D&C in the states where abortion is illegal because it's the same procedure. And so women have died because they can't get that procedure. And so I am pro-choice now. I don't believe things are so that black and white. And I don't believe we should legislate. My mom was a liberal and a Christian, and she didn't believe in abortion personally for herself. She had 7 kids. But she didn't believe we should legislate that, that it should be illegal for everyone. So yeah. So I came back to God, and it's like a pendulum. It's kind of like, and it's kind of like now I'm kind of like settling here. I got my beads on. I got at the Buddhist shop in San Diego. They're prayer beads, and I got the little turtle there too. But now I meditate, and I used to think that was bad for some reason. And I was just like, I was such a ball of anxiety when I was bringing up my kids, and I feel badly about that. There's nothing I can do about it now, but I just feel like, and my older kids do, like, I feel like they have the most anxiety, that as I learned to, I got better gradually. And then it was a good thing that I was away from my religion for a while too. And when I was downsizing too, it helped me because I had so much religious paraphernalia. I had a collection of crosses. Like I said, I had a collection of angels. A lot of my books were religious books, were kids' books and religious books, Christianity books and books about religion. I had so many books. Like I said, 2,000 in the big house, and then like 1,600, I actually counted them, in the smaller house. And so I had to donate those. I sold a few of them, but not a lot. And I had antique books. I had books that, oh goodness, I made $4,000 in selling my stuff in Georgia. When I sold my furniture in Denver, I made $1,400. And that was like new furniture. But I had so much stuff, and I sold big stuff, little stuff, all sorts of stuff. I sold my little knickknacks. I sold salt and pepper shakers. Like I said, my angel collection, look below. There's a link to my Pinterest, and you can see some of all of the interesting stuff I had that I sold. It's on Pinterest. The link is below. And I'll drop it in the chat. But check it out. It was so much stuff. Oh, I had too much stuff. It's like the best thing I ever did, Emma. I fit everything I owned in my car, and I went to St. Louis. I was so happy I did it. It was the best thing I ever did. Ooh, my bed might be here. I ordered a bed on Wayfair. My bed might be here. I think it might be here. You guys, this is so exciting. So I ordered a bed that's smaller. I ordered a real bed. And there is a FedEx guy right there on Wayfair. I ordered a bed. So I think this could be part of my bed, but I don't think they're coming together. They might come together. The mattress and the bed part. Is that from Wayfair?
R14, right?
Yeah. My bed is here. How funny is that? How funny is that?
Where should I put it?
Put it here.
Okay.
You can put it right here. It's a tiny house. Probably gonna, I don't know. I'll probably take it apart. Do you have both parts?
Let's see. Hold on.
Do you have two for me? Because they did say they might not come on the same day.
It's only one.
Okay.
So there should be everything in there. Yeah, it's just only.
Oh no, I ordered two things separately.
Ah,
a mattress
I see.
and a
Okay.
bed. So
Okay.
you might be back here.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much.
My first time here, I thought I'm gonna get lost.
I got
Luckily, I
lost
turned around like, who's right there?
too. Yeah, it's difficult, but yes, people figure it out. Thanks so much. My bed is here. I'm so excited. I'm kind of you kind of have to be a minimalist in a teeny house, you guys. I have a lot of stuff, I put a lot of stuff in the shed. So like my vacuum cleaners in there, suitcases, all stuff. Yeah, he doesn't know. I guess I should have asked him, do you mind me? Yeah, I don't think he would. I hope he doesn't care. Too late now. Whoops. My bed is here. Yay. I can't take it out until I need to get the mattress here, and then I'll have to deflate the other bed. And okay, because the way my air mattress is, I can barely open the drawers on my in my room because there's like just this much room, and then the air mattress in there is kind of, it's difficult. So, but let me see, say another poem. What poem should I say? Yeah, I guess I'm kind of minimalist now. I fit everything I owned in my car, but I'm not like, yeah, I like having only what I need, really. But I guess you could say kind of. I'm kind of minimalist. You kind of have to be in a teeny house, and I lived in an RV for almost a year. So the simplest move was when I was ready to stay out here when I came out here in my RV, because I always traveled with everything I owned in my RV. But it kind of made me more anxious because I was afraid of something happening, because, you know, like I have an antique. I was very particular about what I saved because of, you know, having to fit it all in my car. So like I kept my flute. I kept like just a few things from my mom, because I had so many things from my mom. Yeah. Let me think if I'll say another poem. Oh, I've almost gone 2 hours. Okay. I don't know what poem to say. Oh, maybe I'll say the one about my mom. I'll say the one about my mom. There's me and my mom. Okay. I'll do the double video again. Yeah. Say one more poem and then let y'all go. I wrote this poem for my mom, and I said it at her memorial. She passed in 2009. 2009. We don't say that way. Oops. 2009. So, hey, there's Ian. Hey. So let me say this poem about my mom and do the double video. So I wrote this poem for my mom, Ellen Olson Hewitt, August 16th, 1929. It's me and my mom when I was a teenager. It's in my book. August 16th, 1929 to April 14th, 2009. The verse I put before this one is, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Proverbs 31:30. You showed me by example. And I hated this poem when I wrote it. I hated it. You showed me by, because it's so repetitive, but I still said it at her memorial. and I put it in my book. You showed me by example how to love to read. You showed me by example how to teach and lead. You showed me by example how to stand for my convictions, even if I stand alone. You showed me by example how to keep the home. You showed me by example how to read God's word. You showed me by example how to pray to God. You showed me by example how to hold on. You showed me by example how to forgive. You showed me by example no one's perfect, but we can rely on the one who is. So, and I wrote that because I remember asking her, how do you get them to clean up? Used to sing them the clean up Barney song, clean up, everybody, everywhere. She said, you have to do it with them. You have to show them by example. So that's what she said. And that's how the poem came about. But I really hated that poem. I even told my mom's pastor, and she's like, oh, you're the poem. She's so awesome. I have a video, and my double video is still going. I need to keep going like that. But anyways, I have a video on my channel. Look up Eugenia Gamble saying the benediction. That's my mom's pastor. Bye. All right. Now I'm going to pray for y'all and let you go. The guy probably thought I was talking to myself or something. I should have. See, that's what I need to do. What Carol always does. Do you mind? You're on YouTube. Do you mind being on YouTube? That's what I was supposed to say. I forgot. I was so excited about my bed getting here. Let me do my prayer list. Betty, are you still here, Betty? So I get a lot more views on the replay. Thank you for watching the replay. But thank you for being here, Betty and Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe people are embarrassed to be prayed for, so maybe that's why they don't come in. I don't know. Some people might be. So, anyways, dear Lord, thank you for these friends and followers. I pray that you would be with Emma and bless her and her family and be with her and watch over her. And I thank you for her support of my channel. And I pray you bless Betty. Pre-retirement days is her channel, and bless her channel. And thank you for her. Please bless her friends and family and watch over her. And those who didn't make it today, I pray that you would be with them. Thank you for this job that I hopefully will get, Lord. Please let everything work out with that. And thank you that I know that if it doesn't, that you'll have something else for me. Thank you that my bed arrived. Lord, please be with this country. Help us to stay informed. Help us to be active, Lord. Help us to call and write our Congress people, and to go help me to find any town halls that are local that I can go to, Lord. Help us to protest. Help us to do all that we can, Lord, to resist this administration, Lord. Please bring back Mr. Garcia, who was unlawfully taken to El Salvador, Lord. Please help him to be freed, Lord. We pray for the countries at war, Lord. We pray for Ukraine. We pray for the people in Gaza, and just my heart breaks for them, Lord. Just help us to be a light in this dark world, and help us to speak out, and help us to not be afraid, Lord. Help us to live in love and courage and not in fear and lack and torment, Lord. Help us to be brave. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you all for being here. I've almost gone 2 hours. Yeah. Thank you, everybody who watches the replay. There's links below. Check them out. And that's it. Yeah, I'll be live again on Friday. I'm going to keep going live on Friday. My job is going to be Monday through Thursday, hopefully, when I start 8 till 3. So I will go 5:30, but I am not. Next week they're going to be out of town. So, but when I start my job, I will go 5:30 on Monday and still go at noon on Friday. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. It's almost at 2 hours. All right. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Betty.